Ever wondered if forming an LLC in Florida is a good decision? Today, we're putting LLC formation on trial. In one corner, we've got the shiny benefits of asset protection and tax advantages. On the other, the potential pitfalls that could trip up your business dreams. Get ready for the showdown that'll help you decide if forming an LLC in Florida is right for you. And to help you get started, I've put together a free LLC guide that you can download now at llcblueprint.com/free guide. Plus, if you're ready to set up your LLC, I would highly recommend Northwest Registered Agents. They'll handle everything for you for just $39. For your convenience, I put all the links down in the description of this video. So go ahead and check them out. And before we move on, please note that I earn a small commission if you choose to shop through my links. This doesn't cost you anything extra and it helps me support my channel. And with that in mind, let's dive right in. Alright guys, so let's dive into something super important for anyone thinking about starting a business in Florida: asset protection. Now, I know it might not sound like the most exciting topic, but trust me, this could save you if things ever go south. So imagine you've got this awesome business going on. You're making money, everything is great. But then out of nowhere, you get slapped with a massive lawsuit. Maybe a customer slipped and fell in your store, or someone's claiming your product didn't work as advertised. Whatever the reason, you're now facing a potential financial nightmare. This is where having the right business structure becomes crucial. If you're operating as a sole proprietorship or general partnership, you might experience a lot of trouble. Why? Because in these structures, there's no separation between you and your business. That means if your business gets sued, your personal assets, we're talking your house, your car, your savings, they're all up for grabs. But here's where forming an LLC in Florida can be a game changer. When you set up an LLC, you're creating a legal wall between your personal stuff and your business. It's like having a force field around your personal assets. So if someone sues your business, they can only go after what the business owns, not your personal belongings. Now, I've seen this work in real life. I talked to a small business owner in Miami who got hit with a baseless lawsuit from a competitor. Because he had set up an LLC, he was able to fight the lawsuit without worrying about losing his home or draining his kids' college fund. The lawsuit eventually got thrown out and his personal assets were never at risk. But here's the thing. This protection isn't automatic. You've got to run your LLC the right way. That means keeping your personal and business finances separate, following all the legal requirements, and not using the LLC as a personal piggy bank. Now, if you don't do these things, a court could piece the corporate veil and you could lose that sweet asset protection. And let's be real, there are some situations where an LLC won't protect you. If you personally guarantee a business loan, or if you're negligent in running your business, you could still be on the hook. But for most day-to-day business risks, an LLC can be a solid shield for your personal assets. Now, while LLCs offer great protection, they're not just about playing defense. Here's a question that might surprise you. What if forming an LLC could actually put more money in your pocket come tax time? The answer lies in a little-known feature of Florida LLCs that many new business owners overlook. Let's talk about something called pass-through taxation. Now, I know taxes aren't exactly the most exciting topic, but stick with me because this could seriously impact your bottom line. You see, with an LLC in Florida, you get this sweet deal where the business itself doesn't pay taxes on its income. Instead, all the profits and losses pass through to your personal tax return. So why is this such a big deal? Well, it helps you avoid what's called double taxation. You see, with some other business structures like C corporations, the company pays taxes on its profits and then you pay taxes again when you take money out as dividends. It's like paying taxes twice on the same money, but with an LLC, you only pay taxes once on your personal return. Let me break this down for you with some numbers. Say your LLC makes $100,000 in profit. With a C corporation, the company might pay about $21,000 in corporate tax. Then, if you distribute the remaining $79,000 as dividends, you'd pay another $11,850 in personal taxes, assuming a 15% dividend tax rate. That's a total tax bill of $32,850. But with an LLC, that same $100,000 just flows through to your personal tax return. If you're in the 24% tax bracket, you'd pay $24,000 in taxes. That's a saving of $8,850 compared to the C Corp scenario. And that's money you can reinvest in your business or use it to treat yourself to a nice vacation. Now, it's not all good. You've got to consider things like self-employment taxes, which can take a bite out of your earnings. And depending on your specific situation, there might be times when a different business structure could be more tax efficient. That's why it's super important to talk to professionals who know the ins and outs of Florida business taxes. Remember, the tax code is always changing, and there might be new rules or deductions that could affect your LLC. So it's a good idea to stay on top of these things and review your tax strategy regularly. Don't be afraid to ask questions or seek help. This stuff can get complicated, and it's better to get it right than to face penalties down the road. Alright, so you've got your taxes sorted, but what if your business suddenly needs to change direction? With a Florida LLC, you might have a hidden advantage that could make all the difference. Let's dive into the flexibility factor that's got entrepreneurs buzzing. So when it comes to running your business, Florida LLCs offer something pretty sweet: flexibility. It's like having a Swiss Army knife for your business structure. You've got options, and I mean real options, not just the choose between A and B kind. Here's the deal. With an LLC in Florida, you can choose how you want to manage things. You can run the show yourself, bring in a team to help out, or even mix it up as your business grows. It's not like those stuffy corporations where you're stuck with a board of directors and a CEO, whether you like it or not. So let me break it down for you. Say you start your LLC as a one-person show. You're the boss, you make all the calls. But then your business takes off, and suddenly you need help. With an LLC, you can easily bring in partners or hire managers without having to change your whole business structure. It's like adding new players to your team mid-game. Now, I've talked to some Florida business owners who are loving this flexibility. One guy told me he started his tech company as a solo act, but when he needed to bring in some coding wizards, he just updated his operating agreement and boom, he had a management team. No need to jump through a million legal hoops. But here's the thing. With great power comes great responsibility. Yep, I know, that sounds like something out of a superhero movie, but it's true for LLCs too. All this flexibility means you need to have a solid plan. You can't just swing it and hope for the best. That's where an operating agreement comes in. Think of it like a roadmap for your business. It lays out how decisions will be made, how profits will be shared, and what happens if someone wants to leave. It's not required by Florida law, but trust me, it's a lifesaver when things get complicated. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, do I really need all this flexibility? Well, let me put it this way. Businesses change, markets shift, and opportunities pop up when you least expect them. Having an LLC structure that can roll with the punches could be the difference between seizing that golden opportunity and watching it slip away. So, flexibility is great, but it's not the whole story. Ever wonder why some Florida entrepreneurs steer clear of LLCs despite all these advantages? There's also a dark side to this business structure. Now, I'm not trying to scare you off, but it's important to look at the whole picture. Let's talk about some of the not so great stuff about LLCs in Florida. First up, we've got self-employment taxes. If you're the owner of an LLC, you're considered self-employed, which means you're on the hook for both the employer and employee portions of Social Security and Medicare taxes. That can take a big bite out of your profits. But that's not all. There's also this thing about LLCs potentially not lasting forever. In Florida, an LLC can actually dissolve if a member dies or decides to leave the business. This can be a real problem if you haven't planned for it. Imagine building up a successful business only to have it fall apart because your business partner decided to retire to the keys. And let's not forget about the cost of setting up and maintaining an LLC. You've got filing fees, annual report fees, and maybe even registered agent fees if you're not using your own address. These costs can add up fast, especially for a new business that's just getting off the ground. So let me break down some of these costs for you. In Florida, you're looking at about $125 just to file your articles of organization. Then there's the annual report fee of $138 that you've got to pay every year to keep your LLC active. And if you need help with legal stuff or want to use a registered agent service, you could be shelling out hundreds more. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Statistics show that a lot of LLCs don't make it past the first few years. This doesn't mean LLCs are bad, but it does highlight that there is no guarantee of success just because you choose this business structure. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it's crucial to understand these potential drawbacks before you jump into forming an LLC. You've got to weigh the pros and cons and think about your specific situation. Maybe the asset protection and flexibility are worth the extra costs and potential risks for your business. Or maybe a different business structure would be a better fit. Alright, so we've looked at the good stuff about forming an LLC in Florida, like protecting your personal assets and those sweet tax advantages. But we've also talked about some of the potential downsides, like those pesky self-employment taxes and ongoing costs. But there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It all comes down to what works best for your specific business. You've got to weigh the pros and cons based on your unique situation. Now, if you're thinking about forming an LLC and want some expert help, I've got a great suggestion for you guys. Check out Northwest Registered Agents. They're offering a great deal where you can form your LLC for just $39. They'll handle all the paperwork and make sure everything's done right. Trust me, it's worth checking out if you want to save time and avoid headaches. All the links are down in the description of this video. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.